The FIFA World Cup 2026 is right here upon us once again, and we'll be looking at groups, starting from Group A. The teams that are in Group A are Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and the Czech Republic. But before we start, please, if you see this video, like, share, comment, and please subscribe. Subscribe to this channel so that we'll grow and even grow together. Yes, just help us. It doesn't take anything, just a second. Just hit the subscribe button, and then touch the notification bell so that whenever we drop our videos, you'll be the first to see them. So let's start with Group A. Like I said, Mexico is in this group. They are group leaders, yes, as the host. They have qualified in so many tournaments, I think 16 times. Out of how many times? Out of 22 or 23 that we have seen, 23 editions of this World Cup, or 22 editions. So they have qualified about 16 times, if I'm not mistaken here. They are good campaigners, they are good qualifiers as far as I'm concerned. Mexico is very good in qualifying, and this is the third time they are hosting. Fortunately for them, this time around, they are not bearing the brunt of hosting alone. Neither will they enjoy the largesse that comes with hosting all alone. You understand? They'll be co-hosting with USA and Canada this time around. And then remember, in 1970 they hosted, and then 1986 they hosted, and during that period in those tournaments they qualified. They got to the quarterfinals before getting eliminated. Those were very good outings as far as I'm concerned. But then this time around they are also co-hosting, and they have what it takes to still qualify from this group, especially with their antecedents in this tournament. I think they should be qualifying. Then with their fans backing them as well, and good players, good midfielders, good defense line, and then a very nice goalkeeper in Guillermo Ochoa, who will be standing in front, in between the sticks for them. The goalkeeper is a veteran. He has refused to retire. I think this should be fourth World Cup that he has played in. Yes, that should be, or his fifth one. So that tells you the whole story, that they have experience on their side. Now from that goalkeeper, we move top there. They have another player who is very good, who has what it takes to stand tall on his day. That's talking about Raul Jimenez, who plays for Fulham. Yes, he plays for Fulham in England. He's a very good striker. Give him a chance, he will take it straight up. So I think they have what it takes to qualify in this group, like I said earlier. Then let's leave them and head over to South Korea, a team that co-hosted some time ago in 2002, and they got to this semi-finals and played the playoffs, that third place playoff against Turkey, and they lost out against Turkey in that match. And but then they really delivered, because they were the conquerors of Spain in that World Cup. So I don't think South Korea will be a pushover in this tournament, especially with Song Heung-min leading their lines, and with other players, the Paris Saint-Germain defender Kim Min-jae, who can also do well, who is also a defense strong man. So I think South Korea has what it takes to qualify as well in this group. In fact, all the teams in this group has what it takes to qualify. But then in ranking, I'll still rank my own, because then let's leave them and move down to South Africa. From South Korea to South Africa. South Africa has not been the best of campaigners. They are not even good in qualifying. They have only qualified in 1998, 2002, 2010 when they hosted. Yes, those were the period and the time they have been in the FIFA World Cup. Then in 1998, they drew a match, right? They drew one match. Now in 2002. They still did very well. For me, they did very well. They drew one match against Paraguay, right, and defeated another team like that should be Saudi Arabia. Now then, against Spain, they did very well. They almost ran away with a draw. But then that howler from their goalkeeper, I've not seen such a mistake ever since I started watching football over 30 years now. that I started watching football, almost 40 years. I've not seen a goalkeeper make such mistake in his walls. After walling, he still stayed just behind the just behind the wall. And this the player that took the penalty, the free kick, was not in any way perturbed, because he has seen that yes, the goalkeeper are giving him a leeway to go. He just threw the ball over the that's Mendieta. Yes, Mendieta. Immediately just rolled over the ball over the wall, and the ball sailed into the net. And that was how South Africa lost out in that group stage, because had it been they drew that match, they would have been amassing up to 5 points. But then they lost out. They defeated they did very well in that tournament, but just 4 points. Had it been they drew against Spain, they would have been qualifying. But if they can rekindle that, if they can replicate the performance, because they had flair, they had the vigor, they had the strength, they had the determination, they had those virtues and those stuffs in them in that tournament. They proved a whole lot of us that doubting Thomases, then they proved us almost wrong. But then that goalkeeper really messed up, so they lost out after amassing 4 points on goal difference. They couldn't qualify. Paraguay took this slot and qualified with Spain in that tournament into the next round. So now this time around, in 2010, they were hosts, so they had to qualify as hosts, and now they came. Their first match, fortunately, was against Mexico, and this time around, their first match is still going to be against Mexico. That time they hosted, remember that wonder strike by Shabalala, and then this time around, unfortunately, Shabalala is not coming, and then because it's been years now, so young boys can do the work for him. But then it's South Africa against Mexico in the first match of this year's World Cup. So I think we should be seeing another wonders. If another player can score, Foster, Mokoena, all the players who can do the work for them, or Mexico, Jimenez, just give us that fireworks in that first match of this tournament. So South Africa can now do wonders if they replicate what they did in that 2002. They will qualify. I must say they will qualify, because South Korea is a beatable team. If they just put up a good performance, they will qualify. And now let's look at Czech Republic. Czech Republic is another team that tried everything possible to qualify for this tournament, and it wasn't easy for them, especially when they got to the playoffs. Getting to the playoffs, they played in semi-finals against the Republic of Ireland, and the match entered into the penalty shootout, and they won. Now against Denmark, they still got to the penalty shootout and now won to qualify for this tournament, with Patrick Susek leading the line for them. Sorry, Patrick Schick and Thomas Susek. I beg your pardon. Patrick Schick is my man. I love him so much. He'll be leading their lines, while Susek will be running in from midfield to help him. So they have what it takes to as well qualify. But then my prediction is Mexico to qualify alongside South Korea in this tournament. So please, like I said, always stick around, because this channel will continue to give you updates about the groups. Next on the line is going to be Group B. Just stick around. You will always be seeing our updates. Thank you.